We are sitting on the edge of our seats for the FOMC to happen today at 2:30. While we're live, we're going to have Jerome Powell coming out, either dumping the markets with a harder-sided hawkish stance or letting the bulls run, coming out with the dovish approach. We're going to be paying attention to that very closely on today's show. We have Russian warships and missile tests happening 60 miles off the coast of Florida. Even some reports coming in as close as 25 miles off the American coast in the state of Florida. Absolutely incredible. We have some really interesting imagery coming out of that. Scrambling Air Force, all of it. And some of our favorite alts and meme coins are absolutely ripping face. So it's a beautiful day here on the Blockchain Basement. We are powered by Arculus and joined by this wonderful cast. Look at this. We got Kelly joining us for the first time in a while. Good to have you on the show again, man.
You know what? Here's the deal. I got a problem with me not having been here for a little bit.
What's that?
And I'm going to do something about it.
You're going to come on every day, every week.
Hump days. Wait,
every week.
Wait, is today Wednesday? Yeah.
Today's Wednesday.
Hump days, Wednesday. Talk about the beginning of the week. Get us through the rest of the week. I want to be here with the family, so let's do it.
That's right. I love it, man. I got my family here. You know, I got my wonderful wife, Tia, joining me, looking all wonderful.
Miss Tia
on Twitter. You know, I should tag you in the.
Now, is that with the space or not? Is it Miss Tia or Miss Tia?
Miss Tia. Right?
That's
I got it right.
MYSTIA.
Yeah. She's a renewable fashion designer.
Ooh, I love it.
And also very intelligent with crypto. Very intelligent. Got a great head on her shoulders. And then I hope he has a good head on his shoulders. This is my son, Bronson. How you doing, buddy?
Good.
Yeah, just chilling out.
Yeah.
There's a battle for this seat.
I gotta say, he was such a nice young man because I really wanted to sit here, and he was here, and he was so kind to give up his seat here and switch with me to sit there.
Actually, he completely rug pulled his mother on her chair.
Yeah.
Is really what happened.
Yeah.
You know?
I lost the rock, paper, scissors battle.
Yeah. It was an epic battle.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, everyone in the chat. We got Shady Bandito we got Jerome Powell emojis. Good to see. Laserface, Jay-Z, Nate 707, Shaka Nawanda Bob. Whoa.
Ooh.
Wait, hold on. Read that one more time.
Shaka Nawanda Bob. What a name. That's a really good name. Username.
Shaka Nawanda.
We got Sufficient Enough. All the people shake and bake. Ready to hit hot fire. What a day in the markets. Now,
chicken.
Oh, you like chicken? Well, you had more Zaxby's in Mr. Beast box today.
No, chicken wings.
Chicken wings? You are I think he likes chicken wings more than Tim does. Tim Warren, every single day, eats a mound of chicken wings. It's like that tall. It's a very large amount of chicken wings every single day. I think my son could actually compete with Tim when it comes to the chicken wing eating contest. He's coming for himself. You think you could take him?
Yeah.
All right.
About 20.
Probably 20 of them?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know where you fit them all because you're like, what, 3 feet tall? Incredible.
So just in case anybody was wondering, because I know everybody was absolutely certain. Everybody was absolutely certain we were going to get a rate cut. That's actually not the case. The forecast, and the actual 5.5%. So the federal fund rate is unchanged. But as we've discussed on all the Hit Network channels here in Blockchain Basement,
Golden chicken wing.
BitLab Academy, Discover Crypto, and all those other unbiased channels out there, we are not expecting a rate cut yet. But what you have to realize is we got great CPI numbers today coming under, showing inflation's going down on this 3%, aka 30% increase we've seen over the last 10 years.
Right.
That's a whole different story.
Right.
But in addition to that, we have what's more important is the tone and the characterization, word choices that Jerome Powell uses. It's going to be after the stream. So you know what? Everybody else is doing that. Let's talk about all these other stories you got.
That's right, baby. And I'm glad we got the details. It looks like that just broke. So that's a good catch. It does look like they're leaving the rates unchanged. They have the meeting at, what is it? 2:30, I believe, is exactly when they're having it. So we'll see where it comes. You can follow it here on the Federal Reserve YouTube. But you know what? More importantly than following the Federal Reserve on their YouTube channel, follow me on the Blockchain Basement. We're about to hit 56,000 subscribers, and I released a very exclusive video. This is the place where you can go to find the unfiltered version of myself. You got to go to playlists, and if you're a Black Site member, you have access to viewing these videos that go inside the Black Site playlist right here. I released the first one this morning. Quite a spicy take indeed, but this is the dark details that I cannot say on the air, or we will be literally eviscerated off of the planet and the digital sphere in a blink of an eye. So
does YouTube give you less censorship if it's on a private or unlisted or members only link?
I do. Yeah, that's the theory behind this. You know what I mean? That's the theory. So we're kind of protecting ourselves, and it's really all because of the community coming together and becoming Black Site members that gives me the option and the ability to say the things that I can say on this playlist. So it's all on your guys' shoulders, building me up and let me take the muzzle off. It feels good. An unchanged Drew is a dangerous thing.
How do they become a blacklist member?
So you got to become a member of the YouTube channel, Blockchain Basement, and then upgrade to the Black Site member level. Because the basic tier, the members tier, $5 a month, Black Site tier is $25 a month. But with that, you're getting 20% off our entire site here, the shop. We got some flags flying off the shelves. We got all the things. You get 20% off everything on this website. And in our Discord, in the link down below in the description, you actually get direct discussion with me, Veteran, and Nick about everything from the dark details of politics and war that's going on, and also specifics on how to prepare, and a lot of knowledge cooked into there. A lot of maintenance on your firearms, a lot of different systems and things that you can print out and keep with you anywhere you go. You can laminate it. It's very important information for anyone that's taken their preparedness seriously and that sees what's happening in the world and is acknowledging it and trying to get prepared ahead of time. It is the information you need. So,
hey, can we do some content together?
Yeah, man.
So here's the deal. For those of you that may know, may not know, I'm a Pisces. I like short walks on the beach. But no, that's not the poignant thing here. I'm ex-military. I was also training for a special forces unit when I got in my accident. Got medically retired, so on and so forth. I lived in New York for many years. Of course, there's a very in the city strict limitation on guns and such. I live in Georgia now. I'm a Texas boy, and I see what's going on in the world. I follow along with what's going on in that Black Site data. Also, with talking with Drew, and it's time for me to pick up a little bit of I wouldn't call it a pea shooter because I got some bigger intentions of things that I feel like I need to protect myself against. Yeah. I need to pick up something, and then we need to go out and take some shots on it.
Yes, absolutely.
Can I tell you what I want?
Well, yeah. I love talking about this stuff.
I'd love to get a Kimber 45.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Nice choice.
Maybe Kimber 40, but
Kimbers are fancy and nice.
And the other one, I don't know if I'm going to do that in this exact same stance, but I'd like to get Remington 700 because I used to have a pretty nice long gun. Yeah. Remington 700, Harris bipod, target stock, proper 308. Okay. Bolt action. What I mean?
Pretty highbrow choice with the Kimber. Usually I see an expensive gun. I'm like, that's overpriced. Kimbers are smooth. They don't stop operating. They're very nice. So that's a pretty dang good choice. We should go out to that range. I think it was a Blue Line Belt Company. Let us use their range. They have an outdoor range with Blue Alpha Belt Company. Thank you, Owen. Just an incredible shooting range they have. But let's get into all the news. We got some stuff going on here, you guys. Donald Trump came out talking about wanting Bitcoin to be only mined in the United States. Once all the Bitcoin that's left to be mined, made in the U.S., talking late Tuesday night in a post on his social media site, Truth Social, referring to the central bank digital currency. Biden's hatred of Bitcoin only helps China, Russia, and the radical communist left. We all want remaining Bitcoin to be made in the USA. It will help us be energy dominant. Bitcoin generated by miners, yada, yada, yada. We're talking about this, energy dominance. And something really came to my old memory bank here when we thought back to Jason Lowry and the conversation that he kicked up with Soft War. And for those that are unfamiliar, I just kind of wanted to show what Soft War was talking about. The author, Jason, hypothesizes that people don't understand the security benefits of Bitcoin's inefficiency. They don't understand the security benefits of Bitcoin's inefficiency, because they don't understand how physical security works, nor the enormous systemic security benefits gained by projecting physical power, aka watts, to impose severe physical cost on the attackers in order to raise one CA and thus lower their BRA or BCRA. Without the background, it's difficult to understand why open source computer programs, which literally empower people to do this via cyberspace, may represent an unprecedented and a remarkable cybersecurity capability, which could change the way people design their software and potentially transform the underlying architecture of the internet.
Drew,
what's that?
You have a house.
Yes.
Can you go in and out of the doorways?
Absolutely. Well, sometimes it depends on how much I've eaten.
Right.
But yes.
But you can pass through in and out of the doorways. Now, is it faster or slower to go in and out of the doorways with the door?
It's a little slower.
Now, would you rather have a house you could go faster out of the doorway? Would you rather to trade off that pro-con risk with having a doorway that is easy to open, you can still get through the doorway?
That's an inconvenience I enjoy because it's a barrier from the outside world.
So it's the concession you make for a necessary security that still allows easy passage of whatever you're doing. So it's the same thing when people say Solana's faster than Bitcoin, or Cardano, and some of these coins I'm even gonna say I like Avalanche, Polygon. But it's different. You're trading something for something else. And when you're talking about, this is why Bitcoin is going to stand alone with the size of institutional investment going in, is because, is it slower? Sure. But when you think about the light speed of difference and how much faster Bitcoin is from the traditional asset space,
right?
That 10-minute window is not something they're going to be like, no, give up all the security. I just want it to go immediate, and I want to lose stuff also immediate too if there's no security.
Right. And hardening your cybersecurity infrastructure is kind of what I feel like a lot of people miss out of Bitcoin. Like they see number go up and to the right on a pretty, 4-year understandable time frame. But understanding that Bitcoin is building out the principles and the foundational understanding that Bitcoin is a security system necessary to develop through understanding of security design concepts known as proof of work, or what the author alternatively called proof of power. And now we read this like, all right, this is just some dude talking about Bitcoin, right? But the time frame of this release and of the conversation of Jason Lowery coming out was right in the same time that Joe Biden and the White House put out executive orders highlighting that they're going to be institutionalizing and focusing on the marriage between oil and gas and Bitcoin miners to capture methane flares, turning that wasted energy into Bitcoin mining power. And the proof of power, like the proof of power concept, was snuffed off the internet in a very, very strong way for reasons I still am trying to understand why we would cut ourselves so short. Maybe we don't want to let China and Russia know that we're focused on getting there first in the public media limelight. Potentially could be the reason why they tried to bury this understanding of Bitcoin's potential as a security system for our entire cyber network. Time will tell on that, but right now, the proof of power, Donald Trump calling for us to be the winners when it comes to hash power dominance. This just means bullishness for Bitcoin holders in Nigeria, for Bitcoin holders in Australia, for Bitcoin holders in Russia, that see the world reserve currency and honestly the most dominant financial system on the planet moving into Bitcoin at breakneck speed. We are positioned in the right side of this trade.
I want to mention something on this as well. I actually shared a tweet on this yesterday. I saw somebody, and it's not like I lose respect for somebody if they pose or post something on the internet that I don't agree with. I think all of us need to do a better job of engaging with that and giving an alternate thought process to it. And so somebody posted, and I've heard a lot of people sort of bring up this talking point. Well, Trump is doing this because he's trying to garner votes. He's basically pandering, right? So here's the deal. Maybe that's a little bit of the case, but regardless of if that, say it's 100% of the case or not. So let's say it is. Trump is the most famous political figure in the world.
Yeah.
Right. Whether you're talking politics, whether you're talking just media, he is very well known. Some people love him, some people hate him. Either way, he's talking about something in a beneficial or positive light to that industry, in this case, Bitcoin, that puts it on the radar of other people, even if it's the first time they heard about it or it's the 77th. It's important he's talking about it. Secondly, if he is pandering, maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Some people, the post that I retweeted was somebody basically bringing up comments that Trump made a few years ago, I think as early as late as 2019, about how Bitcoin, it's, the US dollar, no Bitcoin, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? I didn't like vegetables when I was a kid. I didn't like them until probably I was about 25. And now, as I've aged, as I've gained wisdom, and as I've had different thoughts, ideas, and understandings of vegetables and the need for them in my body, I've also learned to eat them. And because of that, I eat them so regularly, now I like them.
Yeah.
So the same thing is true with Bitcoin. My journey, and I guarantee there's probably less than 1% of you even watching that the exact first time that you heard of Bitcoin, you bought it and you completely understood it.
Right.
So we have to give the same sort of compassion to politicians or people or family alike, that we will initially have a resistance to it. More information comes out, you get aligned with people that give you more data on that thing.
Yep.
And then it's like, oh yeah, this is good. It's not just like a sudden flip. There's a necessary journey everybody has to take.
Yeah, I mean, his original standpoint is he's against Bitcoin taking away the dollar dominance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now he's realizing Bitcoin is the dominance.
And it doesn't matter if it does.
Right.
Because we already see on the historical trend of all fiat currencies in the history of the world, we're already on the other side of the bell curve of decline with the US dollar. So now it's not like, hey, it has to be the US dollar. Hey, what Trump's really alluding to is, he knows that we're not going to have 100% of the hash power for
Right.
Bitcoin.
Right.
But what he's alluding to is the sensationalist thought that we need to make sure we can do everything possible that the U.S. has as big of a presence as possible with mining, so that we, I don't want to say control, but that we have the lion's share of the impact of what this asset does. Because it also spell incredible economic dominance into the future. That's what politicians really want, not the specific currency.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Well, for me, I think that my first understanding of Bitcoin did kind of come from that line of proof of power, that the power itself that's used to create Bitcoin is what generates currency and value to Bitcoin. That was my first understanding. And I think that it is kind of a revolutionary way of modernizing currency in general. Instead of having the petrodollar, you could have a proof of power dollar.
Yes, absolutely. We got to get an over and under poll in the chat, Owen. We have a great question from Crypto Pew. Is Bronson asleep right now?
Yeah, he's napping.
Oh, what a cutie pie.
My favorite look.
Unbelievable.
Shake and Bake said, whatever happened to the petrodollar and the Saudis did not renew the 50-year contract. So now they are going to be exploring something. This is the funny thing about Bitcoin that some people still don't get and countries don't get either. It is removed from the independent control of any individual nation, state, or government. It is agnostic to everything, meaning it can be more trusted because it is the truth net for everything.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why I'm not sure if Trump can really accomplish what he's setting out to do, is because it can't be controlled by one country. He can try, but accomplishing that's going to be a really...
Unless the NSA made it.
Unless the NSA made it.
Huh.
Maybe there's a backdoor.
Why did they choose the randomizer? How'd you know to choose the randomizer? The only thing the NSA can't track. Questions can be asked. But now we have it was all the chicken wings that really put him out. I'm getting so distracted here. So, okay. So the petrodollar.
He's bored.
Now, we got to give
Bored
it
with
context.
us.
We're talking about the Saudis not wanting to transact in U.S. dollars, right? Let's keep in mind that the U.S. is still the top exporter of oil. Keep in mind that the American economy and the U.S. dollar is still being utilized at all-time highs. So it's nice that we have this group of countries trying to get together. It's, they're making their own clique. They're going to try to set up their own systems. Probably going to end up in a very hot war. Unfortunately, that's the situation that I'm seeing here right now. Now, this I saw from a firefighter union. Local 138 of Massachusetts became the fourth union in the United States to include Bitcoin on their balance sheet. This is extremely based.
Awesome.
Hey, October 9th, I believe it was October 9th. It was around that date. TJ, Justin, and I went down to a private event at Gary Cardone's house in St. Pete. And it was for a fundraiser. It was a massive networking event, but it was also we were raising funds for a distressed firefighter help, fundraiser deal for when they run into issues or health or accidents on the job. Yeah. And so they had to go through the whole process of learning about what Bitcoin was, understanding how to custody it and how it could impact their future. And so I believe they rotated some of their other capital that they had into Bitcoin as well. So this is becoming more and more prevalent, and the dominoes are only starting to fall just now.
I'm glad firefighters are getting that.
Right? I mean, they're just trying to help the bottom line. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, putting your money in something that has better upside outside of a fiat dollar is happening all over the place. And, you know, companies, organizations, unions, they see it. It's all right in the open for anyone paying attention. God, everyone's asleep around
I know.
here. What
Are
is
we
this,
not keeping
hell?
it interesting enough?
Oh my gosh.
I didn't even know the dog
Nicole
was in
just
here.
woke
I know.
up from
I
her
forgot
nap.
about the dog too. Like,
What's up, dog?
unbelievable. And you were talking about Brazil, the Unibanco this morning. I just want to highlight this.
60 million new
This is a
people
big
in
deal.
Brazil
Yeah.
now have access from the biggest bank in Brazil to buy Bitcoin if they choose.
And it's Brazil's largest bank,
Yeah.
you know?
And Brazil goes back and forth with America and the amount of interest that you can gauge on the internet searching about Bitcoin.
Absolutely.
And a lot
this-
of Bitcoin whales are traveling to Brazil now because it's Bitcoin friendly.
They need to be
I
set
say
up shop.
obrigado.
Obrigado.
Gotta learn
I
Portuguese.
assume that's a real word. You're like a cultured man. Is this
Obrigado means thank you.
okay. Obrigado. Thank you. Really?
Okay, I didn't know that.
I just learned something.
I don't know why I did the Italian hand.
Yeah,
Very
maybe
very
obrigado.
Obrigado.
Yeah, that's interesting. I was like kind of processing that. I was like, it comes from a different culture, but it sounds like another culture. They're pretty close though. So let's see here. We got some things happening off the coast of Florida, folks. Now I put out in the Black Site Discord about a week and a half ago the transport of the Yansen class cruise missile submarine Kazan arriving in Havana, Cuba. It's getting a little weird though. Apparently, reports are coming out that Russia decided to conduct marine exercises with nuclear subs 66 miles off of the coast of Florida. And this is, in my opinion, the Russians responding to
imagine?
Baltic.
Could you imagine
What's that?
you and me, or you and your grandfather, you and an uncle, and you're like, you're down in Florida, you're like, hey, let's take a sport fishing trip.
Yeah.
And you go out 30, 40 miles out like you do when you do, deep sea fishing.
Just run
and,
into
and all of a
this.
sudden you see a submarine or a ship, and all of a sudden missiles launching, you'd be like, it is over.
That'd be a problem to see. I mean, if you're running
Yeah.
into this just off the coast of Florida, you know,
Too
we've
close
got to
for
keep.
comfort.
This is response to the Baltic. We've been doing this in the Baltic as the United States, and now they are kind of paying it back to us. But there's some interesting videos coming off of the coast of Florida. I'll give this a play. We don't need sound for it. We got some scrambling here. We got Blackhawks.
Yeah.
Was this a Warthog?
That's an A-10 Warthog.
This
Yep.
is a flying machine gun.
Yeah,
is
that's
this C-170?
That's a C-130. I was a
C-130,
crew
yeah.
chief on C-130s.
You
I
were
know-
crew chief on one of these?
I know
things?
everything. I know every single thing about that plane.
What?
Yeah.
Like, why would they be? Why would they be putting a C-130 out there?
So
in
C-130.
response?
C-130s are the most versatile aircraft in the history of the world, and they're airframes from the 50s. And despite the fact that they're airframes from the 50s, they have different models. They have electronic warfare models. They have cargo models. They have the AC-130, which is a gunship. But even though, like I said, those airframes are from the 50s, the EC-130s, which are the electronic warfare models, are some of the most advanced electronic warfare planes anywhere in the world.
yeah.
So although you see a C-130, it could be a cargo transport, it could be personnel transport, or it could be some sort of
I'll bet you it's a
attack
cyber
vector.
version. I'll bet you they got the cyber one. So I'm just having to guess. It's not. They probably wouldn't do a gunship yet. They got the Warthog with them. It's probably the EC-130.
Yeah, I mean, like people don't even realize it's surprising this doesn't happen more often, or it's scooped off the news. But you can fly aircraft that have what's the term I'm looking for? EMP mechanisms, and they have it so tuned in now that they could fly over a city of 50,000 people and fry every electronic in that area, just turn off every form of electronics.
Yeah, I think the things that we know the U.S. government has is like 50% of what they actually have.
Well,
you know what I mean?
what's interesting to me? Think about ChatGPT.
Mm.
That is remarkable.
Oh, absolutely.
The public knows about it. That tells me that what did they have 15 years ago, and
Yeah.
where are we actually at now?
Well, and the plan was I think it was the DoD put out that hellscape plan. They're talking about Taiwan. If they do see China move into Taiwan, talking about thousands of unmanned drones in the air and in the water, creating basically a decentralized AI-driven hellscape of military hardware in the water, blocking China's Navy, giving the actual Navy for the United States time to arrive and inflict a correction. So
Yeah.
it's getting a little hot out there, you guys.
Which, by the way, guys, we're talking crypto on this channel, but Drew does a great job of bringing in broader context of what's going on. If you're wondering why, okay, they're talking about all this other military equipment. This is because what's happening on the global stage right now with the geopolitical possibilities. At this point, I wouldn't even call it a black swan if something were to happen. You need to be aware that if we're just looking at the Bitcoin chart or whatever coin that you're holding, and it's historically shows it's about to blast off, there are a number of things right now that could, because we're aware of some of these things, the potential, it wouldn't be a black swan. It would be us, it'd be you not being prepared. And if you get liquidated or you're like, you got to be a little risk managed right now, as excited as you are.
Absolutely, man. And like the driving factor for why Bitcoin, why would we expect countries to lean into crypto as a potential? A lot of that conversation happened when the sanctions from America looked to strangle out Russia when they made their original move.
Weaponize the dollar.
Exactly. Weaponizing the dollar. We see even more of it today. U.S. is widening the sanctions on Russia to discourage countries such as China from doing business with Moscow. U.S. widened sanctions against the Russian agencies and embassy on Wednesday as G7 leaders prepared to gather in Italy for a summit where the top priorities will be boosting support for Ukraine and grinding down Russia's war machine. Wednesday's package targeted Chinese companies which help Russia pursue its war in Ukraine. The U.S. has sanctioned more than 4,000 Russian businesses and individuals since the war has begun in an effort to choke off the flow of money and the armaments to Moscow. While sanctions have not stopped the flow of illicit goods, the aim is to make it harder for Russia to source crucial technology, as well as driving up the markup on goods. Wednesday's package targets more than $100 million in trade between Russia and its suppliers.
But Drew, we're doing this because there's a humanitarian issue in Russia, right? It's not because of the massive number of mineral deposits that they've identified in Ukraine. That Lindsey Graham himself has been on an interview specifically discussing. Man, they've got $10 or $12 trillion. We can't let them have that. It's like, and now we're mad. We're standing on their doorstep. We always said we wouldn't.
Yeah.
Now we're doing it, and we're like, I can't believe they're in Cuba. It's like our politicians are freaking blind.
And it's tit for tat. Like we also had Moscow, an exchange in Moscow, essentially one of their traditional market TradFi exchanges, halting trading in U.S. dollars and euros from the 13th of June. And we will likely see these assets seized by Russian government and dispersed into the war effort. Fortunately, that's where it's going. And then we see this in Yemen, suicide drone. This is the, Yemen, Iran, Israel buildup that's going on right now. Suicide drone boat hits a bulk carrier near Yemen. I did include some very, very dangerous details about strikes and kind of the implications of what's going on in Lebanon and Israel in the members Black Site video as well that just released this morning. So go check it out. If you are a Black Site member, and if you're not, you got to become one. Help support the channel. We see this though. China to Russia talking about the U.S. Let's not start a nuclear war. Okay, XO, hugs and kisses. President Xi, we must assume our responsibilities for history and the people. We must keep the right direction and work together to build a community with a shared future for mankind. A source from Smorty Media. This is President Xi coming out about the situation. I believe this was filmed yesterday. And really, this is kind of a chaotic theory here. But ever since I saw Russia basically being the war arm for China's wishes, and this conflict between NATO and BRICS kick up, it's always been in the back of my mind that maybe President Xi's just sitting back, letting Putin be the bad guy, and then he gets to swoop in, be the broker of peace after things get real bad. It's basically either China is setting up Russia to be the fall guy, to be the bad guy, and to end up being the peacekeeper, or they're going to lean into this conflict with the United States in full fashion. And I kind of doubt that they're ready. I know that we talk a lot about how strong China is and all this stuff. It is a much less practiced military than the United States, not to mention the scientists that we got from World War II.
It's not just the strength of the military, though. At the end of the day, it comes down to dollars. And when you look at the amount of money that's transacted from trade between the U.S. and China, if we were to go to war, that would have huge impact on the U.S. and China economies, which therefore would have a spillover effect on the entire world economy. But if that were to truly happen between the U.S. and China, there would be, I mean, a massive portion of their GDP would be cut nearly immediately. So it's not just, do we have the weapons? It's also like, well, this actually goes against our ability to be self-sustaining.
Yeah. I mean, are they willing to chop their own leg off?
Yeah.
You know, that's the question. But it's getting weird on that side. I've always kind of thought that India might be the Judas to China and betray them to become the top producer and provider of goods for the American economy. That is a potential. We see India turning into the world manufacturing facility hub right now. They are part of BRICS, but it seems like India's kind of on the fence, and they could definitely, in my opinion, go either way. So we're going to get into altcoins, but first, Owen, let's have a word from our sponsor.
The Blockchain Basement is powered by Arculus. This is the world's leading crypto cold storage where you can easily secure, buy, swap, send, and receive all your crypto with a simple tap using 3-factor authentication to make sure to keep your assets safer than ever. Make sure to support the channel. Use code BASE10 and click the link down in the description to get your hands on your security today.
Oh, yeah. All right. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
So we got Jerome Powell speaking. Let's see if he's live. Let's just go to the Federal Reserve. Let's see. Federal Reserve. I'm pretty sure he's yapping his mouth right now. Let's see. Oh, yeah. There he goes. Look at this guy. Let's have a listen. Let's just have a listen.
See how many words it is until it's the same thing he always says.
Year. Improving supply conditions have supported resilient demand and the strong performance of the U.S. economy over the past year.
Repeat.
In our summary of economic projections, committee participants generally expect GDP growth to slow from last year's pace, with a median projection of 2.1% this year and 2.0% over the next 2 years. In the labor market, supply and demand conditions have come into better balance. Payroll job gains averaged 218,000 jobs per month in April and May, a pace that is still strong, but a bit below that seen in the first quarter. The unemployment rate ticked up, but remains low at 4%. Strong job creation over the past couple of years has been accompanied by an increase in the supply of workers, reflecting increases in participation among individuals aged 25 to 54 years and a continued strong pace of immigration. Nominal wage growth has eased over the past year, and the jobs to workers gap has narrowed. Overall, a broad set of indicators suggests that conditions in the labor market have returned to about where they stood on the eve of the pandemic.
Okay, I can't take this anymore. I can't take it. The economy is nowhere close to as good as it was before the pandemic started. You absolute lying, psyoping, what's the right word? Gaslighting, geriatric from hell. This talking about the economy being as good, if not better, as it was during the pandemic. I got to stop there. I've already explained why they're going to cut this year. It's because these banks are underwater on commercial real estate holdings and ESG losses. They're all on the books. We were psyoped into thinking that solar was going to save energy.
And there's so many
all this stuff. It reinstituted slavery.
There's
what it did.
There's like $1 trillion or more loans that have to be refinanced this year also.
Yeah.
And so not only is printing in and need to come back, they have to do a cut because these banks cannot service at that higher rate. They're already struggling.
Just the interest on our debt is $1 trillion now. Just the interest. That's literally just the payment to service the
metric
debt.
I saw the other day. If you made $500,000 an hour every day since the Great Pyramids were built, you would have less money than was printed since last June.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's less money than the
debt has gone
overall
up
debt.
The
I think it's
overall
just
debt.
the overall debt, but still, I mean,
no, it was the debt since June
of
last year. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I want to see that one. Last one I saw
Wow.
was for all debt, but maybe we're thinking about two different things. Maybe.
Either way, it's
Incredible.
The rent is too damn high.
I want to pet that dog, man. This dog, I keep forgetting that he's here.
Did he move?
He did move slightly. So, all right, this is going to be a tough hill to climb here, folks, but I'm going to inject some hopium into XRP holders, myself included, still barely hanging on with 10% of my original bag, but yes, I still have some XRP. Yes, I still pay attention to XRP. Yes, I'm still looking for ways to make money off of things being built around it. This came out recently. Joel Katz made an announcement talking about XRPL Apex, moving XRPL EVM sidechain main bridge from the XLS38D to Axelar network. Our team at Persist is working hard to make this transition in the shortest time possible. This launch will allow EVM sidechain mainnet after Axelar network integrations is completed on the mainnet later this year. Now, what they're doing with this is from Ripple's XDev account, introducing yada yada. We're excited to bring Ethereum EVM compatibility to XRP Ledger, enhancing interoperability and unlocking new ops in DeFi and RWA. Now, when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, they're stepping back a little bit from the ISO narrative. Okay. They're taking a breath of air. They're realizing their heads are a little clearer now, and they're trying to go into what's actually going to happen, not the institutionalization of CBDCs by force on the American public. That's a very red, wet experience that governments want nothing to do with in the short term. Yeah, I promise you they don't. But there is something here to Axelar Bridge. This is just highlighting its, yada, yada, yada. Let's go to Axelar Bridge and see what it is. Because I was looking at this thing with Morel yesterday. And actually the price graph is pretty happy for me to be talking about this thing at the level it's at right now. It had a big run up. We're watching it slightly. It pumped up to 236. Now it is down to 79 cents again, but you can see that's kind of the original stumble 2 point before the big pump happened. When we look at what Axelar does, it's basically just a Web3 interoperability platform, open up stack to connect all blockchains, kind of like a layer 0 play, but who they're hooked in with is the real juice in the squeeze. They're hooked up with Ondo. They're hooked up with a company that is outwardly working with BlackRock on changing hands of RWAs, and a lot of money within real world assets is going to be coming to the ecosystem. But then also this Onyx, their enterprise connections with Microsoft, MasterCard, and Onyx. What is Onyx? You know what Onyx is?
JP Morgan.
That's right. It's JP Morgan's blockchain.
Yeah.
This is JP Morgan's proprietary blockchain that is very difficult to get a deal with. So JP Morgan, one of the most aggressively protective banks when it comes to their approach on crypto, rolling out their proprietary blockchain Onyx, and all of a sudden I dig deep into Axelar, who they're working with, and holy hell, Onyx is right there next to MasterCard and Microsoft. I'm liking a lot what I'm seeing here. They're hooked into all the right type of DeFi plays. This is looking like a play for me. I'm excited to talk about this project, is where it sits right now. It's not off into the moon already. These are the things that I'm always digging around, trying to bring to the dwellers so we can compound our gains. And I'm feeling pretty dang bullish about this.
Bullish.
Yeah, this is looking good. Kelly, I did something crazy. On the dip, I bought Ondo and Injective. Let's go here. Let's go to crypto.
Hey, man.
Look at this.
Ondo's a
Are
good
we
one.
still buying Aether today?
Oh, we're buying Aether today too, baby. Don't
Let's
you worry.
go.
Injective is up 20% at $31.38.
Yeah, was there? I saw that yesterday. Everything kind of moved up, and this actually front ran. The stuff was up 2 or 3%, and this was up 10. Was there a news event, or was the market
No,
just
man.
starting to
It's
move?
just interest in network activity, man. This is good old fashioned pump fun. You know what I mean?
It's one of those ones that's in my alt portfolio.
It is.
It's one
You
of my,
got some too.
One of my larger holdings. Yeah.
There we go. Look at you. Oh, look at this. So Injective, one of the fastest to recover. Notcoin, one of the fastest to recover. Pendle, another old school basement pick, fastest to recover. Uniswap, DEXs aren't going anywhere, but Ondo and Render. Look at this. And honestly, Ondo didn't give any Fs about this market correction. If you look at it on the month, this is that gigantic market sell-off where altcoins were bleeding by 10, 20%. Ondo went down to $1.18, already back up to $1.37. And I am very pleased with myself today, because, not only did I ignore all the bears that are calling for, this is it. We're going to make a crash on Bitcoin all the way to the original points where we lifted off from. We held the line. We're still in this health on a shelf, and all of the altcoins that we're choosing are seeming to do well. It just feels damn good. So next one on my target list, Axelar for sure. Added this to my watch portfolio. Let me see here, because I got to get this one. And then we also had Aether. Where is this? Hold on. More XRP stuff. Just got to highlight this. they're rolling out a, well, this is idiotic. XRP is trying to roll out a stable coin, which is reasonable. This is unreasonable. Cross-border payments set to reach $30 trillion overnight. This is the type of stuff that gets people's expectations for what XRP can go to off kilter. This is the type of conversation you're talking about. $30 trillion moved onto what?
I don't even know if not Washington Mutual. What's Western Union? I don't even know if they transact 30 trillion.
No,
it's like
they don't. No, they don't. That's like the entirety of BlackRock's oversight, not the funds that they directly manage. It's like $34 trillion. They're one of the world's largest fund managers. Like expecting this just gigantic over the night switch to CBDCs, and all of a sudden you're paying XRP to get a Bic lighter at the gas station. Not going to happen here in the United States, at least as long as we have states that say, hey, we're not going to acknowledge these CBDCs as money. So there's a problem to the CBDC plan, but there's hope within things building around XRP like this with Axelar. So, there you go. There's some hope here. If you got XRP, I do. You know what I'm going to do with my XRP? We should put all of the rest of our XRP into Axelar.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
It's a good move.
It's connected to it. It's going to be playing into the RWA. It's at a buyable point right now. I think that's what we're going to do.
I think we got to reserve some for that ZRC though.
Oh yeah, ZRC. Well, first Aether. We got to get Aether today too.
Well, yeah, Aether first.
It went live.
I want to reserve some.
Here's the token contract address and Aether. The Twitter account officials at Aether Cloud, AETHIR Cloud on Twitter. The wait is over. Aether token is live. The contract address starts OXBE, ends in 5226B. You can go directly to their Twitter account to find that. Let's check out the price action, see if we're just falling off of a cliff immediately. No, we are not at all. So look at this thing, goes live and already trying to be healthy on the shelfie for me. Incredible. No early dumps, no massive amounts of early players that just dump on the market the moment that it goes live. Good to see. We got to get some Aether. That's on the get list for today. My God, there's a lot of things to get.
Looking good.
This is Iggy Azalea pitching Solana meme coin mother to people at the New York Stock Exchange today. This is how we know that idiocracy is real, for one. And
I mean, it's such a narrative video. She's not it's like if she's talking to somebody on the floor, they're like, oh, okay.
No, she took a photo op with Kramer too. Look at this. Look at how look at Kramer's face.
He's having a good day.
Iggy out on the New York Stock Exchange. This is probably a very big top signal for Mother token. Speaking of Mother, here's Daddy token. Andrew Tate's going to $197 million. Hate myself. So let's go to Mother and Mother Iggy. Where's it sitting now? We got a $200 million market cap. Whoa! The battle of Mother and Daddy. No one likes to see it. But here it is. Battling on market caps. Who will win, or will they merge?
I think Rodney's coin pumped too, because he launched Daddy first.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Well, no, I know he launched it, but I didn't know it pumped off the news. Let's see here.
It went up like 130% or something.
Look at Daddy Ansem is another
one. Now it's
one.
down because
Ansem is such a chump, dude.
That's not it.
This is pathetic.
Yeah.
This isn't the real one. This has got to be fake.
No, it's Daddy.
I know that there's
Daddy,
another one.
I might be on Bay. Actually, I don't know where it's on.
You know, there's so many tokens.
It's Daddy. It'll say Crypto Journey.
So it's at 2.6 mil. Ansem thinking about fighting Tate. You think he's going to actually fight Tate? Look at these guys. So here's Andrew Tate. He was an accomplished kickboxer, very accomplished kickboxer, just working people over. And here's Ansem. Turn this off. So look at this. He's already tired. He's giggling. He's like happy. He has enough energy to giggle and laugh and look cute, but not enough energy to block his head from getting beat in. So not very bullish on Ansem having any sort of chance to fight against Andrew Tate. Fortunately, it'd be nice to see someone of Ansem's reach be able to actually do something, but I really don't think he's got any. I mean, do you really think, are we going to actually see Karate Combat have a Ansem and Tate fight? Is that possible? Karate Combat's going out there. They're doing stuff. You know what I mean? Like, what's the over under that we actually see? Tate said he would fight Ansem with his hand tied behind his back.
I'd like to see it. That'd be a good fight. I'd place bets.
I would bet on Tate if he had both hands tied behind his back.
I bet he's
Kicks.
got a nasty head bash. Yeah.
A head bashing, kicking, just staring at him angrily.
Intimidation.
Let's see here. So yeah, we got, oh my God, we have this. So we're going to go back. I want to see Rodney's daddy token to see where that one's at. 'Cause the last time I checked
base.
on it.
So scroll down until you see the base token.
Keep going. There's so many of these things. Look at this. Daddy Like, Roaring Daddy Pauly. Oh my God. He's been washed out.
No, keep going.
It stops there.
You can also search on base token on
yeah, I guess we'll have to go it that way, huh? Let's see here. There go Solar base. Let's see here. God, man, he got washed out of the game here. Let's see. Daddy, oh, come on. It's not filtering it out. You click base here. It's not giving me the filter for it. I wonder, you should, I'll keep going on the rest of these, but I'm really curious on where Rodney's token is. I'm guessing somewhere around 2 million, maybe 3 million.
I think C90 FTW put it in the chat.
Oh, you got it in the chat? Okay, hold on. Pull the screen down, Owen. Wake up! All right. Now, where is this? I got to go to basement. See how we're making there's thousands of meme coins made every single day at this point. It's getting a little bit much. Let's see here.
Basedaddy.xyz.
Let's go. I'm going to go in here. I got to go in. Oh, God. Shut myself up. Unbelievable. Here we go. Okay. Well,
if you type daddy space journey, you'll find it.
Here's a contract address.
It's 2.9 million.
I was pretty damn good. Pretty close. Said 2 to 3 mil.
If you type daddy space, you found it.
2.9. I mean, this looks like a dang good graph too, man. This looks like a dang good graph. Shout out to Rodney for holding this thing down, man. Oh yeah, we had some excitedness on Bump. Look at this. Bump is experiencing whale movements coming in and just shaking the market up. Move my head out of the way, Owen. We got $1,000 buys happening, seeing some people taking profits, seeing all kinds of chaos on the order books. Look at this guy. Holy cow. 3,000, how much is that? $3,500 in profits. Click that little button. Whale just coming in, buying 1,800, selling for 3,500. My God. So the base token Bump lives. Look at this. You absolute savages holding the floor down here in these levels. And I am pretty excited to see where this thing goes. I feel like we got some legs on this one. Now we have this. Finance Labs announced that it has invested in Zirkut. Is that how you say that? Zirkut?
Zirkut. Like circuit, but Zirkut.
I hate that. I hate that word.
You got this.
It's so clever.
Yeah, I hate that.
People are
Zero
gonna love
knowledge roll up with AI-enabled sequencer level security. Zirkut new layer 2 that introduces a novel approach to on-chain security. Getting some backing from Binance, and Binance BNB token showing no chill. Obviously, Binance invests in a lot of different upstarts, but Zirkut, I'm going to be paying attention to and see where this potential layer 2 lands. Just some of the new that's dropping during a confirmed bull market when we are all feeling dang good. Things are up and to the right. I like getting in on new projects that got strong narratives. This is kind of crazy. 42% of small cap companies are now unprofitable on the traditional finance side. The most since 2020 when the pandemic happened, it was 53% of small caps were also losing money at that time. Just more data showing that what Jerome Powell just said to the American public is a lie.
Well, here's the deal. What I want to, maybe I'll put a chart together and I'll share it with you and stuff. But one of the things I'd like to see is if you look at the stock market and remove the top, magnificent seven or whatever.
Losing. Yeah.
Everything out there. I mean, what's buoying the market is Nvidia, Apple, Google, Amazon, Netflix. You take those out. Nearly everything else has seen like maybe 1%, 2% drops.
Absolutely.
The market looks entirely different outside of that hope factor. Yes, there's a lot of developments in those different sectors, but also people are growing, basically waking up through social media with data that we've never had before about the fact that you need to have some investments if you want to, at minimum, not get left behind by the US dollar inflation. So we're seeing everybody jump in on hope and drive those things higher, along with them being good developments in those various tech sector. However, the rest of the economy is not doing nearly as well as the market think.
Yeah, I mean, that's the aggravating part about listening to Jerome. Like, talk about how everything's strong, employment's looking good, inflation's coming down over the month, even though it's up 20, 25% on the year. And then we see the manipulation that's happening in the traditional market with GameStop. This whole GameStop situation, I think, is really waking people up that it's a club that you just aren't part of. You know what I mean? When the system is just shutting off trading the moment that they start to go in retail favor. GameStop GME is now up 50% from yesterday's low after Citron Research announced that they closed their shorts, cited that GameStop has $4 billion in cash now as a primary concern for short sellers. This is incredible to see. GameStop, this zombie of a company during the pandemic. I mean, you know, it was
the
really
tech
hurting.
Evolution. People don't go and buy games anymore.
Right. I mean, they don't go to brick and mortar. It's pretty empty when you go in there.
Are they going to put it on their balance sheet though? Bitcoin.
Ooh, that would be a
That would be like, what if they continue doing games, but their primary revenue is from buying and holding Bitcoin?
Dude, that would be a sick play. I mean, I could see him doing it.
Young guy,
I mean?
it's a young guy.
Maybe that's what Roaring Kitty's talking about. Ryan Cohen's secret
Shout out
sauces.
Piano Matty B in the house. How you doing, my friend?
Nice.
What up, man? Let's see what Jimmy is at.
Maybe they could start investing in kind of like the infrastructure of the gaming on Web3.
No, it's down to 28. Down to 20. That's what I was hoping they would do.
Yeah, that would be a smart move, a good pivot.
28.16. So falling back down. But we do see TradFi a little bit afraid of shorting this thing now that they're sitting on this mountain of cash. My God, what a theory. What, GameStop ready to buy $1 billion in Bitcoin? Oh my God.
Let's start the rumor.
Yeah, we just started the rumor. And here's Citron Research just highlighting it themselves. No longer shorting GME. It's not because we believe there's a turnaround for the company fundamentals or that will ever happen, but with $4 billion in the bank, they have enough runway to appease their cult-like shareholders. Shout out to the cult-like shareholders. You guys are moving mountains here. And shout out to you, Piano Matty B, out in the chat. Good to see you, brother. This is crazy. U.S. banana grower Chiquita found guilty of funding death squads in Colombia. I'm like, holy God, what in the heck is going on? But then Nick reminded me that this has been going on for like 20 years. Found this release in 2007 from the Department of Justice in the United States, talking about Chiquita brands pleading guilty back then in 2007, nearly 20 years ago, paying a $25 million fine for payments to a designated terrorist organization. So they are no stranger to danger, it seems, in the Chiquita camp. And looks like they're funding enemies of the Department of Defense. And that's probably...
They're the danger.
Yeah, I mean, this is...
We're going to have to ban bananas.
I know. I'm going to have to ban at least Chiquitas in the house. We don't get Chiquitas anyways, do we?
Can we cancel Chiquita?
I mean, I don't know if we buy them anyway. Because they don't have... Let me know. I don't think that they have organic.
I don't know. We buy Costco organic bananas. I mean, those kids eat them up.
Yeah, let's see here. What bananas does Costco sell? Let's see
it's
here.
an Amazon brand. From the Amazon.
What organic bananas?
Kirkland.
It's organic because only organic. Let's see here. What do we got? I'm scared about what's going to come on. This right. Why? Not going to give me Kroger organic bananas. So I got to make sure that we're not buying Chiquita. I don't want to be funding, whoever the hell this death squad is that Chiquita feels is necessary. Kind of a weird story though. So I'm going to be paying close attention. We go through a lot of bananas. This is something that's a very key ingredient in the diet.
Toddler life.
Yeah, toddler life, man. Like bananas buy me time. You know what I mean? Bananas buy me time. The kids like bananas.
Del Monte, that's the other big one.
I think it's Del
think
Monte.
that's what they sell.
Yeah, that's the one that
seems
is
familiar.
at Costco. Thank God.
So did they fund the opposing hit squad or what?
Dude,
There's like banana wars going on.
Banana wars.
They
Maybe
need to
this is a real
start funding Bump.
Funding Bump. Oh my God. Well, speaking of likes, there's going to be some engineering changes at Twitter, and it's kind of for a weird reason. This week, they're making likes private for everyone to better protect your privacy. To be able to see posts that you have liked, but others cannot. Like count and other metrics for your own post will still show up under the notifications. You'll no longer see who liked someone else's post. A post author can see who liked its post.
That's
though.
what I was going to ask. Can you still see? Yeah, because
So you as the author can still see it, but
I think that's probably a good thing because I know in China, some of the people that are speaking out against leadership there get banned because, or the people that like the post actually get pursued by government agents. So that's probably good.
I mean, I
for
could tell you,
Chinese
I could
people.
tell you firsthand. There's been things I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to put my name on.
Yeah,
but now
yeah,
you
it's for
feel more free
privacy.
to.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how those.
I think that's smart.
shift.
I mean, go Musk.
Yeah.
That's a smart move.
Yeah, I mean, and you brought up a good point. You got to be
Anti-Black Mirror.
sensitive to people in China. You know what I mean? And almost said
Well,
kids.
you want to be able to have freedom of speech and,
Yeah.
and be able to like the things that you want to like without being pursued by, whatever the CIA equivalent is in China, because that's pretty intimidating.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good. And, like Kelly said, he's held off from liking some things, just worrying about it being visible to the rest of the public. And, a lot of that, like, a lot of the subject matter that I talk about in the black side, I can't go and like those tweets on an open platform. People are like, oh my God, what kind of crazy stuff is he investigating now? Who knows what they would come up with. So it is going to be good for privacy. And now the new regular show potentially coming out. Kelly, have you ever seen the regular show?
Never heard of it.
Owen, you know what the regular show is, don't you? Yeah, I can tell by the buttons. You seem like a guy that knows the regular show. I am huge on the regular show.
What is it?
It's an incredible cartoon. Rigby and Mordecai, a bird and somewhat of a beaver / squirrel type animal, just on random adventures. They come out with the.
I
Looks
think
like
he's
a
a
raccoon.
lemur.
You think he's a lemur?
That's my best
Looks
guess.
looks like
Look
a
at the stripes
raccoon or
on the
something.
Yeah,
tail.
a raccoon. A raccoon's probably a better call. That's a
Could
good
be a
point.
raccoon.
Yeah, he's probably a raccoon. I am hyper stoked about a new season of a regular show because me and my daughter watch this stuff like it's our job.
It's
So.
Is it
playing
like
all
the
the
new,
time.
not Rick and Morty? Is it like the new
It's kind of like
Rocky
Rick
and
and Morty.
Bullwinkle kind of deal?
Yeah. I mean, I'd say it's like in between Rick and Morty and
Raccoon.
Rocky and Bullwinkle. Rigby a brown and a promorphic raccoon.
Anthropomorphic.
What the hell is that?
That means when you humanize an animal.
Okay. Fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
go Kelly.
Yeah, go Kelly. I mean, that's a big word.
the vocab.
That's serious. Yeah, and
Ivy League, baby.
so now, you guys, I am still of the opinion that this is a scam, but if it's not a scam, I have a lot of money. So work with me on this. Pi coin apparently available to trade on HTX in spot.
Can you not trade it on a DEX?
No, and as I had last checked, there was nowhere I was able to offload spot Pi token. I do have Pi token in a wallet, a self-custody wallet. I do have the ability to send it to an exchange, a landing point, and sell it. I've been mining it for years. Obviously, I'll have to take a trip or move out of the country or something like that. Whatever you want to think, my Fed friends. But basically, I see the potential to offload spot Pi tokens on HTX. Let me know in the chat if you guys are doing
Can you
it.
get the Palau?
I'm not doing the
citizenship?
Palau ID.
Yeah.
That is like the Palau ID is a Department of Justice honeypot. That is
They're trying to identify people in a pool. Yeah.
absolutely. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. If you're the SEC or financial regulators, all you have to do is look at an American citizen with the Palau ID, and it's a really kind of
You know, a great
limited
example
pool.
of that. I had a bunch of friends in Vegas that made a ton of money on Airbnb. And then, of course, what happens? The hotel lobby goes and lobbies against, with the government to basically make it illegal to have an Airbnb because it was threatening their revenues. And, then the government was like, no, if you guys if you can self-identify, if you want Airbnb, it'll be fine. But then what happened was everybody that did that then was blacklisted from being able to do Airbnb.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
mean,
like,
it's
why?
insane.
Why?
It's insane. People bringing up Pinky in the Brain with Pinky in
Pinky in the brain.
That was
Throwbacks.
a good.
Pinky in the brain.
You like that one?
I liked Cat Dog.
Cat Dog is another good one. There's been some. Owen missed out on, I think, the best
The
time for Nickelodeon.
Animaniacs.
Dude,
And we're
Animaniacs.
zany to the
Yes. And then the country song. God, there's so much there.
That's some good ones.
Now, yeah, all right. So we're pumping, you guys. We held the line. I'm going to be stacking some Aether today. I'm going to be stacking some IO. what was the other one? Didn't we decide on another token that we got to buy today? It was Axelar.
Yeah.
IO, and Aether. Those are the three I'm going to be scooping
Top
up
picks.
today. And really, this thing, my wife's going to hate me, but we're diamond hand and bump. we're going to diamond hand bump. Right, honey? To the moon. To the moon.
Okay.
Here it is. We got our friend Delmo hanging out there. We pumped to a $500,000 market cap, and we're sitting at 325,000 right now. Just checking in. If you go on Dex Tools, you can actually go into specific transactions. Like you'll find the contract address, whatever token you're looking at. And one thing I just love about Dex Tools is you can go up here, you get all the transactions in real time. You can check out top traders, you can check out holders, and essentially from there, once we have a few more weeks of data, this will be available to holders and the percentage of how much of the supply those holders are actually holding. But you can go through transactions, and then when you want to see what is the deal with this wallet, then you can see they bought 493, sold 410. Weird moves, but they still have majority of their bag. God, they're playing in meme coins with $5. I mean, more power to you. That's like a 5x right now. 5x and $5, not bad. But you can click here, and then you actually get the time frame for when they bought and when they sold. The green little bubbles are the buys. The red are the sells. So it's kind of a cool little feature. If you want to get a little bit more involved with the tokens we're getting into, I know I look at a lot of meme tokens here on the show, so it's just good to practice those actions when you find a new contract. Make sure you're not getting into an absolute S show. What a show today, Kelly. My wife, Tia. What a wonderful day on the show.
Ooh woo.
Oh, don't do that. No, I mean,
that's woo ooh.
Ew.
Okay, I don't even know. I was gonna think back to Joel. Shout out to Joel. We used to have Joel next door, and he sounded like he was being murdered.
I miss Joel.
I know he's a good person.
He's such a good dude.
I wonder what he's doing these days. Joel. Shout out to you. And shout out to everyone that's a part of this channel and in the chat. We got Wispy talking stacking some bump. We got Truck Dano, Nicole Ministator, Small Face Noto, Drakeford Music, Fluffy the Sheep, Shaka Nwanda Bob. What a name. Laserface, Small Face Noto with the OG profile picture. I appreciate every single one of you. And remind you that this show is powered by the world's leading cold storage platform. This is Arculus. This is where you can easily buy, swap, send, and receive all your crypto with a simple tap using 3-factor authentication. Keep your assets safer than ever. Support the blockchain basement, folks. Or you can turn it this way. Support Seaman and get your Arculus today. Get 10% off with the code BASE10 and use the link down in our description and spread the power of self-sovereignty of your finance, man. It's where it's all about. What you got? You got something on the outro?
It says Lock Seaman, and I thought that was funny. And I also wanted to shout out All Real Monsters because that was a good one too.
Okay.
Very important stuff.
Yeah, you're gonna have me going down this.
I know.
Rabbit hole.
I know.
All right. Well, Kelly, it was awesome having you. Every Wednesday, man. Every Wednesday you're in town, you should come on here. Owen, what do we got on that final shot? Who are we gonna have send us out on this one? You got the outro shot set up?
Yep, that's a good one.
There we go. All right. You guys, take care. Love y'all. I'll see you soon.
Give me some treats.